Hello, my name is Christopher Stolle, and I am a music production Bachelor of Science major at Full Sail University. Welcome to my podcast. Today is Wednesday, May the 29th, 2013, and on today's episode, I'm going to interview Colin Davis, owner and engineer at Imperial Mastering, a mastering studio in Concord, California. Colin is also the guitarist for the band Vile, a death metal band from the San Francisco Bay Area. Here is an image for the cover of the latest Vile CD, and here is a collage of some of their earlier releases. The music we're listening to in the background is from the Metamorphosis CD, which was recorded, mixed, and mastered by Colin Davis. I'm going to proceed and read off my interview questions and Colin's answers to those questions. Question number one, I asked Colin what he saw as the role of the visual arts in our mass-mediated world, and particularly in your profession. And Colin answered, with the internet being so present in today's world, the visual arts plays a big role. Sometimes images flash so rapidly across our computer screen in the form of pop-up ads and other images that stream across our screen that we barely even notice the graphic design, animation, or still artwork, and we take it for granted. I see it as a form of subliminal messages, where even if we click off the image right away, it still sticks to our subconscious. As far as visual arts being a part of the music industry, that is fairly obvious. As an audio engineer involved in mastering, I create the final master to be pressed into compact discs and or digital downloads. But these products need packaging, and that involves at least a CD cover that can also be downloaded from iTunes. You will need to hire an artist or a graphic designer, and in most cases, you will need both. If your artist is not computer savvy, that is. In the age of YouTube, most bands will choose to do a video which will vary depending on the budget available. So a small independent band will probably do it themselves using applications such as iMovie, and a bigger band on a major label will have a much bigger production with cameramen, a director and editor, a producer, and other staff, because obviously they'll have a bigger budget to afford those kind of luxuries. Either way, it falls into the realm of the visual arts. The next question I asked Colin was question number two. With new communication and media technologies, imagery is almost instantly available. Do you believe that this is having a positive or negative influence on the industry? And please provide an example. I think in terms of getting the product out there into the public eye, with that sort of subliminal messaging that I just described in my last answer, having that imagery immediately available has a positive effect on the music industry on the business side of things. But as a music fan, I miss the days of anticipating the release of a new album from one of your favorite artists. Walking down to the neighborhood record store, especially in the days of vinyl records, tearing off the plastic and getting into all the artwork, photos, and lyrics. So having that instant gratification is sort of a spoiler. You already know the end of the movie before you get to the theater. So that is a negative influence on the music business, I feel. My follow-up question to question number two, question number three. What popular images do you see that are frequently rechanneled throughout the entertainment industry? Well, being a resident of the Bay Area, the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco comes to mind as a popular image that is used all the time in movies, TV, and advertising. Also, New York City has a bunch of buildings and monuments that have been rechanneled, such as the Statue of Liberty, the Empire State Building, and, of course, Ground Zero, where the World Trade Center used to stand. I don't know, Mount Rushmore, the Alamo. Well, I'm originally from Texas, so I had to include the Alamo. Question number four. Are there particular images that this industry has popularized and or created? Well, RCA Records comes to mind. They had their logo of a dog listening to a phonograph. But since we are talking about the music industry, that is a difficult question to answer, since I mostly deal with how things sound to the public. So I would just say the original artwork bands have created, including their logos, like the Rolling Stones had those big Mick Jagger lips as part of their logo. And there are certain music videos, especially in the early days of MTV, that had images that stuck with you for life, like Peter Gabriel's video for his song Sledgehammer. Question number 5. Who is one of your favorite visual artists, and or what is your favorite style of visual art? Colin answered, I really like the work of H.R. Giger. The set designs for the movie Alien were influenced by his artwork, and he also helped design those sets. His work was also used for the cover art for the band Celtic Frost, one of my favorite all-time metal bands. And both H.R. Giger and Celtic Frost are from Switzerland. Giger worked mostly with airbrush, and that is probably my favorite style of visual art. The way he used an airbrush, at least. I don't know about the cheesy airbrush paintings that are on some of those custom vans you see sometimes. Question number 6. And the final question. How has your knowledge of famous artworks influenced your creative process? Well, since I rely mostly on my ears for mixing and mastering, artwork does not really influence my creative process, except for when it is a band I have a close relationship with, as was the case with my interviewer, yours truly here, Mr. Christopher Stolle's band, Thanatopsis. Since I, meaning Colin Davis, mastered their CD, I started thinking about what artwork we would use early on in the production process. So with that being said, and that final question being answered by Mr. Colin Davis, this is an image that was used from the Thanatopsis CD that Colin mastered called the Chaotic Order. The painting is called Chaos Face, and it was created by Matthew Cavada, who has also done paintings for Magic the Gathering cards and is now the art director of the company that created the game Magic the Gathering and the cards, of course, that come with the game. The company is called Wizards of the Coast, and they're based in Seattle, Washington. And the music in the background you are hearing is from the Chaotic Order CD, which was mastered by Colin Davis. This is your host, Christopher Stolle, signing off. Bye for now.